absolutely awful I look. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. But today I want to do my first book review of 2021. Pause. Happy New Year. Yay! We made it through 2020. 2021 is going to be great. So the first book that I read this year was The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. The back of it reads, "I will live to leave this place. I will walk out a free man." In April 1942, Lale was transported by cattle train to Auschwitz-Birkenau, imprisoned as were millions of others for being born Jewish. He was given the task of tattooing numbers onto his fellow victim's arm to create what would become one of the most potent symbols of the Holocaust. Waiting in line, shaking with terror, was a young woman called Gita. For Lale, full of life, even in this place of death, it was love at first sight, and he was determined not only that he would survive, but Gita would too. Based on real events, The Tattooist of Auschwitz is one of the most life-affirming, courageous, unforgettable, and human stories of the Holocaust. You guys, I love this book so much. There are not words to describe how much I love this book. Holocaust stories, they've always been my favorite because they show how incredibly human we are. And some people have an innate nature to survive. Some people are survivors. Others just wait for death. In this book, it's amazing to me the things that happen. It shows the horrors of the Holocaust. How the people were treated and the hierarchy in it. How differently males and females were treated. It's amazing. Let me show you these pictures. I'll just show you book pages. This is them. These here are them taken in the place where they found each other. And then this is them together. They're so cute. These, don't come at me, book community. These pictures are of them and their son. This one is them on their honeymoon. And then this one is the last picture of them taken together. She passed in 2003, he passed in 2006. I've got to give Morris credit because she chose not only to write about the horrors of the Holocaust, but she chose to include a romance story. She chose to write about a story of love and hope in the darkest place, the most horrendous place probably to ever exist. I read this book in 7 days. I cried, I laughed. There were times I had to put it down for a break because I was freaking out. I want to read her second one. You're introduced to a lady in here who's imposed upon by pretty much the person at the highest level in Auschwitz. And Heather Morris has a second book about her journey and how she was 18 years old when Auschwitz was liberated, just to turn around and be imprisoned as a prisoner of war for what she was forced to go through. Heather Morris is originally a screenwriter, which didn't surprise me reading this, but I love the way she writes. Because she's a screenwriter, you can see these things happening, and it's horrific, but I love it. I love it so much. I will link this book down in the description, and you can check it out for yourself. Leave me a comment if you have read this book and what you thought of it. Okay. That's all I have for you today. I hope wherever you are, that life is okay. I realize 2020 was a bad year, and just because we're now in 2021, it doesn't make all that stuff magically disappear. So, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.